Hello and welcome. You're tuned into Market Fatafat. I'm Ankita Saxena and with me is my colleague Snehi Shah. And in the next half an hour, we'll take you through all the top buzzers in the trading session. But before that, let's take stock of how the market is shaping up at this juncture. Well, market, as far as Nifty is concerned, that is holding on to the 25,920 levels for now. It has cooled off from the day's highest point. As we speak, 50-odd point downtick coming in from the day's highs on Nifty. Nifty Bank also, posting a short bit of a downtick coming in from the highest point of the day, 72 point down from the day's highs, as you can see on Nifty Bank as well. But it's the broader end of the market that's really holding the fort. As far as mid-cap is concerned, that's trading up 0.25% up 150 odd points or thereabouts, and then small caps also holding on to gains of 0.4% in the trading session. So it's really the broader end of the market that is adding legs to the market or supporting the market today. But a couple of names that are in focus today on the back of their earnings. We have Linde India, that's up 6.9% on the back of strong Q3 results. We have J&K, that's up almost 8% in the trading session on the back of strong set. Then we have Sterlite Tech, that's up 10% after the promoter increased their stake in the company. We also have Nelcast, that's up 13% on the back of strong Q3 results. So a lot of buzzers, Snehi, that are moving on the back of strong set of Q3 results that's coming in.
Absolutely, lots to talk about, yes, but today the major news flow is on the earnings front, so that does look good. But let's begin by talking about all the buzzers. Let's get you someone who's here to give us a very comprehensive technical view on some of the stocks that are in focus. We have Mr. Osho Krishan, the Chief Manager, Technical and Derivative Research at Angel One, joining us on the show. Osho, hi, good afternoon. Before we come to you, I want to put the spotlight on Bata. Good move coming in from Bata today on the back of much better than expected numbers coming in. Overall, if you take a look at Bata's numbers, the revenue is in line with the street expectations, but PAT, EBITDA and margin are a beat versus what the street was expecting. Revenue has come in at 945 crore rupees, which is an uptick of about 3% year on year. PAT has come in at 66%, which is an uptick of 12.5%. The EBITDA at 212 crore rupees is also up 6.5% on a year on year basis. And the margins, they've seen a very good expansion this time at 22.4% compared to 21.6%. Overall, the margin expectation was to be largely flat, but a very healthy beat on the margins front too. The labour code impact has been about 6.5 crore rupees, so to the tune of 6.5 crores, but the PAT has been a beat other than even despite that. Premium products have shown robust growth in brands like Hush Puppies and Power is what the management has said. They've added 27 franchise stores in Q3 as well. So that's the take on Bata. It's a good set of numbers coming in. That's why the stock is up about 3.5% as we speak.
All right, moving on to the next counter. Then, Osho, you have picked out for us Astral. Tell us on the charts, how does Astral look like and what are the levels to watch out for?
Very good afternoon to both of you and all the viewers. Well, Astral, looking at the recent development, it is looking very positive. There has been a V-shaped recovery from the lows of nearly 1360, 1380 odd levels, and even on the daily time frame chart, the counter has made a double bottom formation. So I'm expecting that from a short to medium term perspective, there might be a strong potential upside movement that can be seen in the counter. 1590 to 1600 is the short-term target that I am expecting in Astral, while on the lower end, any dip towards the zone of 1480 to 1500 should be auguring well and can be seen as an accumulation zone for this counter. Overall, it is having a bullish biasness and one can utilize dips to add position in this counter.
All right, so that's where Astral is at and the levels to watch out for. The next counter that is in focus is Genus Power. That's locked in upper circuit right now and a sharp uptick of 5% on the back of strong set coming in for Q3. In fact, the profits have more than doubled for the company. They see a sharp improvement in its financial performance as well for the third quarter, driven by strong growth in revenue and operating earnings. The net profit for Q3 stood at 140 crores compared to 56 odd crores in the corresponding quarter last year. The revenue rose 85% on a year-on-year basis to 1,122 odd crores. EBITDA also increased to 212 crores from an earlier 92 crores. And the operating margin improved to 18.9% during the quarter compared with 15.3% reported in the same period last year, reflecting better operating leverage alongside higher revenues. Now, the stronger year-on-year growth across profitability metrics underlined the company's robust operational performance in the quarter. And on the back of strong set coming in for Genus Power, that stock is locked in upper circuit right now.
Okay, so very healthy move on Genus Power right now, 5% uptick over there. But the other stock that's doing very well today on the back of earnings is ISGEC Heavy Engineering. If you could just pull up the stock right now, because last I saw, in fact, the stock was as high as 15%. And in fact, look at the gain over there. Another double circuit performer on the upper circuit performer on the street, pardon me. A 20% upper circuit coming in for ISGEC Heavy Engineering. Let's tell you what this buzz is about on the stock. On a consolidated year-on-year basis, revenue has come in at 1,739 crore rupees compared to 1,495, which is an uptick of 16% on a year-on-year basis. The EBITDA has also grown by 48%, quite the jump over there. Reported profit has come in at 84 crore compared to 23 crore, so that's almost two and a half times, slightly more than that in fact, for a year-on-year jump. And the EBITDA margin has seen a very good expansion at 11.2% compared to 8.8%. Other than this, they've also announced a lot of capex, the biggest one being 210 crore project towards capacity addition of machine building divisions. They've also revised their capex upward for their Dahej facility and announced another 22.5 crore capex for machinery shop. So very good set of numbers from ISGEC Heavy Engineering. That stock is up 20% in upper circuit.
All right, moving on from that to another counter that Osho has picked out for us, and that's GAIL. Osho, tell us why we picked out GAIL for us, because this counter has been in a long corrective phase for a while. So from here on, what are the moves that you're expecting on this?
No doubt the counter has been into a very strong corrective phase, and it has even underperformed the broader market. But overall, what I'm witnessing on the technical parameters, that it is on the verge of giving a positive divergence. So the RSI is having a higher highs while the price action still has the lower lows on the daily time frame chart. But overall, I'm expecting that this is a kind of an early signal for a reversal. Although on the lower end, 160, 158 remains as a very strong and pivotal support levels. And from a positional point of view, I'm expecting a pullback in this counter towards the zone of 175 to 180 kind of a level. So from risk reward point of view, one can definitely look to accumulate this counter. In a shorter term time frame, I'm expecting 175.80 as a target, while on the lower end, 158 should be kept as a final stop loss in this counter.
All right, so those are the levels to watch out for on GAIL. But let's move on to the next counter. Another big mover in trade is Sterlite Tech. That's up 10% as the promoter has increased the stake from 42.9% to now 47.75%. Now, you remember yesterday, Nuvama had also come out with a note on Sterlite Tech that they were maintaining a buy call, and they'd hiked the target price to 200 rupees from an earlier 130 rupees. The revenue has also increased mainly due to the higher demand in America, and the North American sales share has risen to 36%. The order intake has improved with revival in the telecom demand, and the tariff reductions in the US are helping the margins. The EBITDA margins have stayed under some pressure during the quarter, but the company expects higher business from data centers going ahead. Local manufacturing in the US supports the future growth, and on the back of that, even Nuvama is giving it a thumbs up, and on the back of that, Sterlite Tech is up in a way 10% in trade.
Very good move coming in on Sterlite Tech today, 10.5% uptick over there. So that's all the stocks that we wanted to highlight in the first half. Stay tuned with us. We'll come back on the other side of this very short break and take you through some more buzzers today. So stay tuned, and we'll also be getting you a tech check. So stay tuned, we'll be right back. Back with Market Fatafat, and you're watching ET now. Thanks for staying tuned with us. We were talking about some of the stocks that are buzzing today, either on the back of news flow or on the back of the earnings. Let's keep going with that list. We have Gravita India that's in focus today, and the stock was doing very well in the morning. This is on the reason that they've signed a binding term sheet to acquire Rashtriya Metal Industries Limited, that's RMIL, and this acquisition is being done for a consideration of up to 565 crore rupees. Now, why this acquisition is important for someone like a Gravita India? It's because it marks the strategic entry of this company into the copper recycling and copper alloy manufacturing business. This investment is to expand its presence and strengthen its capabilities as well, and it's a whole new foray into this copper business being done by Gravita India. That's the reason why the stock is doing very well. A little bit about the company that they're acquiring. RMIL is one of India's oldest and most reputed manufacturers of copper and copper alloy products, and it also exports to countries like UAE, USA, Thailand, Sri Lanka, Oman, Saudi Arabia, Kenya, Indonesia and other countries. And post acquisition, this company will become a subsidiary of Gravita India. So a good addition in Gravita India's portfolio and the product mix. And on the back of that, the stock has given up all its gains from the morning, but nonetheless an 0.8% of an uptick on the stock.
All right, so that's Gravita India in focus on the back of that. But Osho, you've picked out Gabriel for us. Tell us what do you see on the charts for this counter? That stock is also up in a way 3% today. In fact, in the last 6 months, though, it hasn't done much. It's been in a corrective phase. But in the last 1 year, it has given some stellar gains. From here on, what is the movement that you're expecting on the stock?
Overall, the counter, as you mentioned, has already seen a decent correction from the zone of nearly 1300 towards the zone of 900, 920 odd levels. But in the last few trading weeks, the counter have seen a positive divergence on the price action, and even it has emerged above the 200-day simple moving average. So overall, there has been positive key developments on the technical front, and I'm expecting that with the kind of momentum the counter has been into last 2 weeks, there is a strong possibility of counter testing the zone of 1120 in a short-term perspective. And even if it surpasses or sustained above the zone of 1100, then we need to review that whether it can retest the zone of 1280 to 1300 in the subsequential basis or not. But overall, I'm expecting from here onwards, there is a strong momentum in the counter, and I'm expecting 1100 to 1120 as the immediate target for this counter.
All right, let's move on to the next counter that is in focus, and that is RailTel. That's up in a way almost 6.5% in the trading session. This is coming on the back of a new order win that they have won. They have won an order worth 455 odd crores from Western Railways, and the completion timeline for this order is 960 days. And in the back of this order win, it has cooled off a bit, but nonetheless trading up more than 4.5% in trade.
Okay, so that's RailTel doing very well in trade today, and that order win is also keeping the stock high today. Let's refocus and talk about Seagull. This stock is in focus on the back of two reasons. Yesterday during market hours, the company came out with its Q3 earnings. The street reaction to that has been largely good. But the reason why the stock is yet again in focus today is on the back of an order win, wherein Seagull India has secured a 220 megawatt solar project integrated with battery energy storage system. That's BESS, worth 1,700 crore rupees from the Reva Ultra Mega Solar Limited. The project has been awarded through a tariff-based competitive bidding mechanism, the company has said in a statement to the exchanges. Now, this letter of award has been received on February 9 from Reva Ultra Mega Solar for the development of Unit 1 at the Morina Solar Park in Madhya Pradesh, and the tariff quoted for the project is 2.7 rupees per kilowatt, which comes to an approximate value of 1,700 crore rupees. So that's the quantum of the order win that Seagull India has bagged. And on the back of that, the stock is doing pretty well, a 3.5% uptick on the stock as we speak.
All right, so that's Seagull India in focus and soaring away in trade. But let's talk about HDFC AMC. That is also up and away 4.5%. And Osho, that's your pick. Tell us what are the levels to watch out for here? In fact, this counter has done very well in the last few weeks itself. It has picked up 13%. From here on, what are the levels to watch out for?
Overall, on a broader time frame, the counter have already seen a very decent correction from the zone of nearly 2950, and it has retested the breakout zone of 2400. But as you mentioned, in the last couple of weeks, the counter has seen a very strong momentum, and there has been a kind of a V-shaped recovery in the counter, and even after the runaway gap, there has been strong momentum in this counter. So I'm expecting, looking at the momentum and the technical setup after retesting the neckline zone, the counter can see some kind of a strong potential on the higher end, and 2950 to 2980 can be seen as the next potential target from short-term point of view, while on the lower end, 2680 to 2700 should act as a very strong support level for the counter. So from short-term point of view, one can definitely look to accumulate the counter. 2940, 2980 will be the target that I am expecting in this stock.
All right, so those are the targets to look out for on HDFC AMC. But let's move on to another buzzer in trade, and that's BSE. That's jumped up 6% to hit a fresh record high after the company reported strong set of results. Now, it reported a consolidated net profit of 600 odd crores for the third quarter. This marks 174% year-on-year rise from the 219 crores net profit reported in the corresponding quarter of the previous year. Now, the firm's revenue from operations, meanwhile, rose around 62% on a year-on-year basis to 1,244 crores, and the net profit margin improved to 45% from 26% in quarter 3 of FY25. Now, Jefferies has also hiked the target price for PSC to 3,050 rupees a piece while maintaining its hold call. This implies an upside potential of more than 2% from the stock's previous closing period. Now, Nuvama has kept the buy call on the stock, but they have also raised the target price to 3,760 a piece, which implies an upside of almost 26% over the stock's previous closing price. And Motilal Oswal has kept a neutral stance but increased the target price to 3,350 rupees. So, on the back of the brokerage upgrades and a strong set coming in for BSE, that stock is up in a way more than 6% in trade.
Okay, with some more stocks that are in focus, and the next one we wish to discuss is KPI Green Energies. The stock is in focus on the back of an order win, wherein the company has announced that it has secured a new renewable energy project order from the Adani Group. In an exchange filing, KPI Green Energy said that it has received orders from Adani Group companies to execute electrical, civil and allied works for some of the projects. And furthermore, this project is a part of the Khavda Hybrid Renewable Power Project in Kutch in Gujarat. While we don't know the exact quantum of this order win, some of the details and the scope of this order includes electrical AC/DC works and civil works such as pile foundation, installation of stubs, erection of module, mounting structures, solar modules, robotic cleaning systems and many more such operations. With this order, KPI Green's total orders from the Adani Group entities for the Khavda projects have reached about 834 MWAC. So that's a very positive news coming in for KPI Green Energy. The stock is up almost about 0.9% as we speak.
All right, moving on to the next counter that Osho has picked out for us, Indian Hotels. Osho Indian Hotels, that again is a stock that's been consolidating for a while now. What are the levels to watch out for?
Overall, the counter has seen a correction from the zone of 750 towards 630 odd levels, but in the last 2 weeks, there has been a decent pullback in the counter and it has already retraced more than 50% of the fall. So I'm expecting with the kind of momentum from the very strong support levels, there is a strong potential in the counter to retest the zone of 750 from a very short-term point of view. So obviously one can look for opportunity. 750 is the immediate target, and even if it sustains above 750, then we can see higher targets in the medium-term time frame also. But for now, 750 should be the short-term target in Indian Hotels.
Okay, so that's the price target to watch out for in India Hotel, 750. The stock is at 700 right now, so Osho spotting a significant upside on that stock on the charts. But on that note, we're completely timed out in this edition of Market Fatafat. Osho, thanks so much for your time. But with that, it's a goodbye from Ankita, me and the team that put this show together. But stay tuned because closing trades is going to track the last hour and a half of the market today.